They think that it's your privilege to use their program. Unity is basically saying, we can do what we want, and you're going to take it and you're going to like it. This is my last video about this Unity stuff. I'm not a Unity focused channel. I do game development and I focus a lot on the Godot engine. It's a good engine if you want to check it out. The whole thing's still a mess and it doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's not really clear how this is all going to work if they do end up going through with it. I have 3 points that I wanted to make. Point number 1, this was a warning shot. This was Unity testing the waters to see how much they can get away with. This is extremely dangerous for the future. They're giving developers what? 4 months to figure out how this affects them. I mean, people have been making games for potentially years, and now they have to plan for this brand new revenue system, but the individual aspects of this deal are not even the most important thing. The most important thing is that they had the balls to do it in the first place. They know they have this huge market share and they feel like they can do anything that they want. A company that feared that people might give some backlash to a decision like this doesn't really introduce it in the way they did. Maybe give us a little bit more time, maybe has a little bit more clarity about how this all works. Doesn't regroup and backtrack on things less than 24 hours after announcing it. They didn't think that through. Whoever made this decision was not thinking about, hey, maybe people won't like this. But if they knew that, that just means they don't care. And there's the issue. So the question is, are you willing to bet your livelihood, your career, your time, your blood, sweat, tears on the whims of some corporate head in some office? They're just interested in making money as cheaply and as quickly as possible. They think that it's your privilege to use their program. And the amount of power and input that you have is that much. So yes, this is a warning shot. This is them testing how much they can get away with. And in the future, they could up these fees. They could add more fees. They could do whatever they wanted. You're just going to have to deal with it. It will become the norm. And then they'll tag on more fees on top of that. So that's number 1. This is the future of Unity unless there's a change in how it's run and who runs it. Number 2, that sucks, but they play their cards. They've shown you exactly the kind of company, kind of software that they're going to have in the future, and you have the opportunity to make a choice about it right now. I can't speak for people who have already invested a lot of time, effort, money. You're making a game, it's gonna get released. You're in a very tough position, and honestly, I feel for you. But if you're brand new, you're just starting out, you're interested in game development, you see Unity, and you thought that Unity was the place to go, turn around or get off the boat. You don't have to stake your artistic and creative self and tie it in to a company like this. You don't have to do it. There are other options. You can still go to the AAA route. You can go to Unreal. You could go open source. There are lots of open source engines. I focus a lot on the Godot engine. There are more engines that I'm going to link down in the description. You have options. And because you're just starting out, because you're deciding to start this game development journey, you have an opportunity to help shape how this is going to look for the future. And if enough people decide not to invest, because it's an investment of your time. If you choose not to invest your time, your skills, your money, into Unity, and you put that into other engines, especially engines that can really benefit from your time, from your skills, from your energy, that's going to change things. You have the power to vote with yourself and tell Unity, I'm not going to put up with that. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then they're going to have to take it, and they're going to have to figure out, how can I earn the trust back from all of these people that I've really pissed off? So I'm not going to sugarcoat this or be PC about this at all. If you're new to game development, you're just starting out, and I mean less than a year, get off the Unity boat. There comes a time when you just have to say no. Here's the action portion of this video. If you agree and you're ready to say no to Unity, I don't even know how you do this. You trend it, go on to Twitter, or I'm gonna still call it Twitter, and tweet out hashtag no Unity with fees. At least one thing we can do collectively is give enough bad press that maybe they walk back even more of this or decide to just not do it at all. But at the very least, send a message that this is not okay. I mean, they're literally trying to create a tax that's tied to a non-revenue metric game installations that you can't track and you don't know how they're tracking it. That is just phew. Third thing, if you are switching and if you're going to say no to Unity, hashtag no Unity with fees, I would urge you to look into open source solutions. I've seen a lot of people say, hey, I don't want to use the Godot engine because it's not as good as Unity, or it can't do this, or it can't do that. And it's true. There are things that the Godot engine cannot do yet. There are a lot of reasons for that, but it doesn't mean that it can't do it in the future. And the cool thing about open source and sort of crowdsourcing this effort is that you can do some pretty cool stuff. Imagine if every single person that was upset about this Unity runtime fee decided to spend a little bit of their time to improve upon an open source engine like the Godot engine, contribute, bug test, have new ideas. I mean, there are so many things that you can do to benefit. You look at software like Blender, for example, an amazing piece of software, and it's 100% free, and it's constantly being improved. It's the best thing out there, and no one can take it and say, hey, you got to pay a fee now. They can't do it. So think about using your time, your energy, your blood, sweat, and tears, and benefiting a community-based piece of software as opposed to benefiting the pockets of the higher-ups at Unity. This whole thing's a mess. I sincerely hope this all gets erased and everyone can go back to doing what they were doing. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'll see you back on the Godot side of things. And as always, keep creating.